Quick 5-minute rant. The thing I was most excited about with an electric car was the freedom it brings you. And I personally think that the Tesla design of their Model 3 and Model X and some of their, I think is amazing. Like the Model 3, I think is one of the best looking cars on the road. I really like it. The other car companies that I've seen come out have some ugly designs, literally super ugly and overly plastic. And they're like, oh, well, there was a radiator there, so we still have to design the car like as if there's a radiator there for some reason. Like, who thought of that? Like, what is that about? It looks terrible. You've been given a gift, car companies and the world. We've got AI. We're working on full self-driving mode. Let's start designing some cars that are just like a bed on wheels. Like, why are we not doing stuff like that? Why are we not having it to where it's like a living room? You just have a little minivan that looks like a bread box that you could customize. You could put, flower paint on it or fireballs, whatever you want. And you open the door and you go sit in your living room. And then you take your trip to Costco. It takes 20 minutes and you're watching Sports Center or whatever. Like, I don't know, no one watches Sports Center anymore. You're watching TikTok or whatever. It's just like, why are we not doing that? Instead, we're designing these plastic cars that have fake front ends with looks like where a radiator should go but doesn't go, and then the designs are for aerodynamic and sleekness. They're all like flat walls. Like, why are we so lost? This isn't that hard. And I guess now we still have to drive. In fairness, most of us still have to drive facing forward. But the fact that no one's even kind of tinkering with the idea that I've seen, except for I did see that robo-taxi thing or whatever it was, basically like that, is like we should have bread boxes on wheels that you could just lounge in. Like, why would you not want to commute on your way to work and play video games or watch the news or read a book? Imagine how much fun it would be to take cross country travel. I grew up in an era where people took trains every now and then. I don't know if people still do that, but I had family members that were conductor and worked on the railroad. So I would take those trains. And one of my favorite things to do on a train ride was they had a bubble car and you could go to the top of it and you could just see the country and you were cruising along, and it took forever to get where you were going. But that was the biggest relief, was there was a bubble car and a snack car, the bar cart, I should call it. So why not bring that to commuting? Why not bring that to cross-country excursion? Why not bring that to every U.S. family who has to buy a car anyway? Give them an opportunity to travel across the country to do these things and to enjoy each other. Hell, maybe they'll even put their cell phones down for a little bit and look out the window. I mean, the other thing is, let's say that's not your cup of tea. You don't want to sit in a couch and relax, but we could be so much more dynamic. And another thing, why are we developing 25 and 3,500 pound vehicles to transport a 120-pound woman to a yoga class? I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. The bigger and bigger these SUVs get, I don't get it. I guess for safety. But if everyone gets on board with not needing such a heavy vehicle and starts looking at it from an engineering problem, like the Hive-mind or like a bee, right, would do, and get into that idea. That's another thing that's great about AI as I'm thinking about it. With driving, if you can get an AI program that's being trained like they are doing with Tesla, other companies can do this, where it's hive minding all the experience and becoming exponentially greater because it has countless hours, like billions of hours now, of driving all over that's reporting to a central hub and then refeeding that out, however they do it. Point is, you do that with other car companies and other things, you can get to the point to where you eliminate accidents. You're just commuting and it's thing. I can actually see where they literally turn it to make it more expensive for you to even get car insurance, to dissuade you from even driving it. And then the government takes the keys away or whatever, and then people are going to be like, my freedom, right? I could see that scenario playing out as well. But going back to the point, it does help to have the hive mind with driving, because then it's just a common goal of exporting the goods. And we're the goods, right? And we don't need to be mechanically inefficient. Why are we being so mechanically inefficient in the first place, designing these huge machines to do this stuff? We can be very mechanically efficient, downsize these things. We have electric motors now. We don't need to have these huge motors. We don't need to have these huge reserves. We don't need to have a lot of designs we do. We can still have our fun with our stuff and have off-road vehicles, because that's cool too. But let's be sensible and come up with some commuter designs. All right, that's 5 minutes of my rant on cars for today.